Welcome back. We're staying in the southern part of Nigeria. This time we're going to Delta State, where the DESOPADEC bill, the amendment bill of the DESOPADEC, is generating a lot of reactions, unfolding drama since the governor signed that amendment bill into law. Now, the amendment...
has it been signed into law?
I believe it's been signed into law, but they will confirm. Well, the amendment is said to be targeted at ensuring that oil-producing ethnic groups are taken into cognizance, are benefiting from the proceeds of the DESOPADEC, of the activities of oil exploration companies. But then, the host communities and some other people are reacting that the 2006 bill, the DESOPADEC bill, is effective as it is and need not have been changed. So what is the matter with all of this? We're hoping we'll get answers today. We'll look at the DESOPADEC Amendment Bill crisis. And we have joining us in the studio, I begin with the lady, Omasan Agbajo, who is a legal practitioner and a member of the APC in Delta State. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Also here is Yemi Omogami, Vice Chair, APC Delta State.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Ife Ofoburuku is a member of the Delta State House of Assembly. Thank you for joining us.
A pleasure.
We do have some other guests that will be joining us via Skype in the course of the program. Okay, we have him there. I think that's Honorable Tim Tonye, member of Delta State House of Assembly. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, the bill has already been signed into law by the governor. So let me begin with Omasan. Tell us what's wrong with the bill, the amendment of the bill.
Well, before we even go to the amendment of the bill, we would like to state some facts that has been going on in Delta State for the last 16 years or more when this democracy came into being. The oil-producing communities have been agitating all this while with regards to an increase in the derivation formula. At a point in time, the increase came in form of 13% for derivation of the natural resources that comes from a particular area, that 13% should be for those particular areas. At a point in time, the then government of James Ibori, because of this agitation, set up the DESOPADEC. When the DESOPADEC was set up, the law was that 50% of that 13% was to be used for the oil-bearing communities. But the Constitution says clearly that 100% of that 13% derivation formula should go to the oil-bearing communities.
Not 50.
Not 50. So even as at that time, the law was being breached. It wasn't being complied with. But nobody could say much, even though the host communities went around lamenting and agitating from 2010, 2011, 2013. There were several cases. They went about the whole country agitating that 13% should be fully for the oil-bearing communities. So even before we talk about the amendment, we must talk about the illegality of taking even a kobo, not to talk of 50% of that funds by the Delta State government, which is also going on right now with this new amended law.
So your grievance is not even with this current amendment. It's beginning from the 13% derivation, which is supposed to come to the host communities.
Yes, that's right.
That never came.
Yes.
Okay, let's, Honorable Ofoburuku, how did the House regard the bill when the bill came in?
Well, I would say that initially some of us were a bit skeptical, as it were. But looking at the bill critically, as lawmakers, we realized that the primary purpose of the amendment was to reposition DESOPADEC to be able to serve the current exigencies of Delta State. The Delta State of 2006, the Delta State of 1999 is not the Delta State of today. We live in an evolving world. We live in a world that rotates. The government realized that there was need to restructure DESOPADEC so as to be able to deliver as anticipated. Just like my sister here mentioned, some persons feel that DESOPADEC has not lived up to expectation. And having looked at the operations, we came to the realization that this argument makes a lot of sense. Now, how do we now repackage DESOPADEC to be able to live up to expectation? Is to properly restructure the organization itself so that if it is 1 naira that goes to DESOPADEC, we expect to see dividends of 1 naira on ground in the areas that DESOPADEC is expected to serve. So basically, the amendment is to largely make sure that the funds according to DESOPADEC and the projects that they will deliver will meet the yearnings and aspirations of our people.
Okay. Mr. Mongoy.
Yes.
Let's look at DESOPADEC as it is from 2006 till date, before we come to that point where he said the restructuring, the need to restructure. Would you say it's lived up to his expectation?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, with the first bill, the first State House of Assembly bill, with that bill, we are progressing in error.
That's the 2006 bill?
Yes, we are progressing in error by not complying with the constitutional provision as entrenched in section 1622. And I read, provided that the principle of derivation shall be constantly reflected in any approved formula, shall, of being not less than 13% of the revenue accruing to the Federation account directly from any natural resources. So, that money, you see, the state government is just a vehicle to be used for disbursement. You do not go and do whatever you like. You have to comply with the constitutional provision. Both bills are all illegal bills. Let me tell you quite frankly, we shall be in court very soon. We'll challenge the bill, we'll repeal that bill, and we thank God that we have a government in place today that respects the rule of law. The era of carry-go, we are no more there. We are in the area of doing what is right for the people. And the best thing the government could do is to withdraw that bill and pass this money on to the oil-producing community, 100%. Let me tell you quite frankly, the interpretation of oil-producing community. Oil-producing community have nothing to do with ethnicity. It has to be the direct communities there. You do not come and bundle a process from NDDC. The creation of NDDC and the creation of DESOPADEC, they are two separate issues. You don't bundle the system from NDDC, transfer it, you want to adopt it, executive director, this, that, no way. Comply with section 1622 of the Constitution. Failure to do that, we will meet in court.
Well, 1 second. Now, there was a bill before the second bill.
Yes.
I'm coming to you. We'll come to you, Honorable. There was a bill before the second bill, an amendment that did not see the light of day, so to speak, in the last administration, that was supposed to see 5 MDs for the ethnic groups. Right? Did you know about that amendment?
We heard about it. But
you heard about it, but it never saw the light of day. So do you think that would have helped in any way to level the playing field if it had come on board?
Well, I think it would have, because the ethnic nationalities would have been represented, and the ethnic nationalities are closer to the people and to the oil-bearing communities than this new bill that is now a law that Governor Ifeanyi Okowa signed. Because in this new bill, he has an MD, 3 executive directors from the senatorial districts. And then he has, I think, ethnic nationality commissioners or
board members.
What's it called? Board members who are commissioners, and they are on part-time basis. I believe there should be the ones who are sitting in management capacity because they are closer to the people. They are closer to the ethnic nationality. My senatorial district, for instance, we have 3 ethnic nationalities there. The Isokos, the Jaws, and the Shekiris. If you now rotate it, because that's what we do, we rotate between the Jaws and the Isokos and the Shekiris, and you have one person representing that 3 ethnic nationality, even within us, the Shekiris, sometimes we have problems in going to each other's communities. Not to talk of an Isoko man being an executive director. Would he be able to come to my riverine community? He would not be able to. He would not be able to know what is going on there. So the first bill, I mean the bill which Governor Odwan was trying to pass through the State House of Assembly that didn't go through, I think would have been a better deal for